So the agenda for today, what is a STEM degree? We're going to cover the types of degrees that qualify as STEM degrees. We are going to discuss why you should pursue your education in the United States. There's over 3,000 four-year colleges and universities in the United States. And we want to tell you why you should pursue your education in our country versus any other country in the world. Then we will be discussing the graduate program search and application process, tips and tricks for how to submit your best application, timing in terms of when to begin this process. We'll be discussing funding opportunities that exist at the graduate level. And then we will be discussing career development. This is a very important component to STEM degrees because STEM degrees offer additional time that you will be able to pursue your first career in the United States, as well as an internship. And then, of course, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay, so what is a STEM degree? The whole concept of a STEM degree began with the concept of job shortages in high-tech sector jobs in the United States. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics disciplines, there are an abundance of these career opportunities in the United States, but historically there have been a lack of qualified candidates for these jobs. So sciences, natural and physical sciences, biology, physics, chemistry, technology, information systems, computer science, engineering, biomedical engineering, mechanical engineering, and mathematics. So these are programs that require more of a quantitative skill set, and they help position you for a career in these disciplines that are high technology sector occupations. One question that a lot of students ask is a difference between an MS or an MSc, Masters of Science, and an MEng, Masters in Engineering degree in the United States. The big distinction between these two degrees is that a Master's of Science or MSc degree is more research oriented. It will generally culminate in a thesis, and it is great for students looking to enter into the job market upon graduating. And it's also great for students who are really interested in research and maybe interested in continuing on after the master's to pursue a PhD. A Master's of Engineering degree is going to be perhaps a little bit shorter. It's going to be more practical and technical in nature, and it is more so culminating in a portfolio and it's less research oriented. Binghamton has Masters of Science degrees. We will be discussing Binghamton programs a little further in this presentation, but that is the big distinction between those two types of degrees. Programs that are STEM certified afford graduates the opportunity to not only spend time working in the United States after graduating through optional practical training or OPT, but if a program is STEM certified, you can apply for an extension to your OPT. So rather than working and living in the United States on your visa for 12 months, you can apply for a 24-month extension, work in the United States for up to 3 years, which is a great, important resume boost. And so that is really one of the biggest draws for these STEM degrees. And of course, STEM industries are expected to grow in the coming years. According to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, STEM industries are expected to grow by 13.5%. So America is well known for our high technological industries, and these industries are only projected to grow, leading to increased job opportunities. And another point I'll make here is, of course, we all just went through the COVID-19 pandemic, which really took a toll on the economy. And we're starting to see the economy slowly rebound. To pursue a master's degree in 2 years or even a PhD that will take 5 to 7 years, that will help you be well positioned to enter the job market as the job market continues to recover. So you get that master's. 2 years is the average turnaround time for an economy after a downturn. And you could be looking at really ideal timing for career placement. All right. So there are STEM certified programs of study at the master's level and at the PhD level. And there are some important distinctions that we want to discuss in terms of the differences between a master's degree and a PhD. The first difference, of course, you'll see on the screen is the length of the program. A master's degree is generally completed in 2 years. Some programs can even be completed in a shorter amount of time than 2 years. Our computer science program, for example, students oftentimes complete it in a year and a half, or they take that 4th year to take a decreased number of credits and pay a decreased fee. A PhD is going to take longer. It's going to take 5 to 7 years to complete. A master's degree is oriented toward a career. It's oriented toward helping you obtain that higher level specialized training and competency proficiency in these topics, whereas a PhD is more oriented toward research and academia. Students who enter a PhD, more times than not, they want to be a professor themselves, or they want to go work in research. They want to work for a research center or work for the government. A master's degree is going to take less time and less money, but in the same vein, a PhD offers more opportunities for funding. Right? So a big question we get is about funding of your education. Generally speaking, with some exceptions, a PhD level degree is going to generally come with more funding through fellowships, graduate assistantships, research assistantships. A master's degree is all about your quick return on investment. And so it will be more likely that you would have to secure loans or secure external funding to be able to complete your master's degree. But both master's degrees and PhDs are offered in STEM disciplines and help you obtain that STEM certification that can help you with your career development upon graduating. All right, so this is an exciting slide because this is all about your result. This is all about your return on investment. Starting salaries for students graduating out of STEM master's degrees are very high, right? You look at computer and information sciences, the students who graduate from Binghamton's computer science program make almost $100,000 a year upon graduating. And that's going to quickly provide you with the return on investment. And you will also see high levels of salary for a lot of other sectors and a lot of other categories within STEM as well. So these positions are going to be more rigorous. They're going to be more quantitative in nature. And as a result, you're going to be compensated with higher salaries upon graduation. So why should you pursue your graduate education in the United States versus any other country in the world, or even your home country, right? The United States is really still known to have some of the best colleges and universities in the world. If you look at the Ivy League, right, world-renowned colleges, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, these are the highest rated colleges in the world, bar none. And a lot of public universities, such as Binghamton, offer that Ivy League level education, but they do so at a public school price. So you're able to get really the best intersection of cost and value and return on investment by pursuing your degree in one of these higher rated public universities. The big draw to the American university is our research opportunities. So after World War II, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt instituted the New Deal, which heavily funded and really created the modern research university. And the intersection between American industry and the faculty researchers at universities has produced some of the world's most important innovations of the 20th and 21st century. One great example is the work completed with Stanford University in California and Apple to help create the technology for the iPhone. So that was really created at the crux of research and private sector industry and the expertise of the universities and funding their research. A few other really interesting examples of some innovations that came out through the American Research University FM radio, global positioning systems, antibiotics, nanotechnology. And at Binghamton, we actually have the founder of the lithium ion battery. So if you have that iPhone or that Samsung phone in your pocket, you can thank our chemistry professor, Stanley Whittingham. Career development is another very important aspect of why you should pursue your graduate education in the United States. We are going to place you at Apple, Samsung, Google, Microsoft, some of these top companies, and we have very well-established career development centers in our universities. Our Fleischman Career and Professional Development Center a few years ago won the National Career Development Association's Exemplary Career Center Award, which means that we were the top career center in the whole country. And so this is resume building, networking, job and internship fairs. We have beautiful facilities for virtual interviews, right? In today's day and age, like we're doing right now, you want to be able to communicate effectively in a virtual environment. And we have great interview studios for you to do that. And so career development is very important in terms of why you should pursue graduate education at an institution in the United States. Our support for international students, right? So we welcome, there are hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of international students who pursue their education at the United States. The United States has a reputation for being that crossroads of intellect, culture, race, ethnicity, language, right? You walk down a street in Manhattan, New York City, which is where this photo was taken, and you will hear languages spoken from all around the world. You'll hear food, and you'll hear food. You will smell food from all around the world. And if you walk on the main portion of our campus up here at Binghamton, you will experience something very similar. And we have a great support system for international students, starting, of course, with an international student and scholar services offices. These offices provide a lot of programming like international coffee hour and language exchange. And there are also a really big variety of socio-cultural and multicultural organizations on college campuses that really help you find your community and help you build friendships while you are pursuing your education. And finally, funding opportunities, right? As I mentioned in the previous slide, most of these funding opportunities are going to be at the PhD level. But if you are a competitive applicant for a PhD program, you can generally expect to receive some form of funding, whether it is a graduate assistantship, research assistantship, teaching assistantship position, where they will help defray the cost of your attendance and ideally provide you a stipend for your living expenses. So all of those reasons culminate into why it is a great idea for you to pursue your graduate education here in the United States. So a little bit more on research, right? We love research. The Carnegie classification classifies colleges and universities in the United States and throughout the world in terms of how much research they conduct. The R1 classification, which is Binghamton's classification, is the highest level of research activity, meaning that we conduct over $50 million worth of research grants every year. And so you'll want to pay attention to the Carnegie classification of research when you are considering which college or university in the United States you'd like to attend. I pulled a few examples of some very interesting research centers. We have 30 specialized research centers and institutes across a variety of curriculum. One is the Center for Energy and Smart Electronic Systems, small scale systems integration and packaging, right? So how do we put together computers? How do we put together an iPhone? And then of course, there's research centers that are not in the sciences. We have a Center for Research Studies. We have a Center for Public Archaeology. We have a Human Rights Institute. And so these research centers and institutes, the executive directors of these centers and institutes are oftentimes the faculty or the deans of the colleges, and they will be great resources for you in terms of engaging with research when you're on the campus pursuing your degree. All right. So you really want to sit down and figure out why you want to pursue this graduate degree in a science, technology, engineering, or mathematics field. It's very important for you to conduct that personal assessment to determine if this is going to be the right fit for you. One important qualification for these is skill sets in quantitative analysis, mathematics, right? So are you somebody that was high achieving in math courses and science courses? That's going to be very important for you as you pursue these degrees. Is it necessary for your field? Are you going to pursue this degree and then come out the other side with the degree, with the career that you want to help you produce that return on investment? What do you offer a program, right? So one of the important credentials when you apply to a graduate program is a statement of purpose or a personal statement. And in that personal statement, you want to not only discuss why you want to be part of this program, you want to discuss what you bring to the table. You want to discuss why you are a good fit for this program, not just because you want funding or you want a job after graduating, but what makes you passionate about electrical engineering? What makes you passionate about chemistry? Is it the right time for you to go to graduate school? Some, students might feel rushed out of the gate of their undergraduate careers to go right into graduate school, similarly to when you were in high school and you went into your undergraduate career. But graduate schools have no problem with you entering the workforce first. In fact, our computer science program is one example, can waive your test score if you have 1 year of applicable work experience. That's really interesting to know. You don't need to exactly go right into graduate school upon completing your undergraduate work. You can go and work for a year, a few years, and then see if the graduate degree is really still in your best interest. It's not going to decrease the competitiveness of your application if you enter the workforce upon graduating and then apply to graduate school.